Welcome to the Miniatures Paintbrush. Today we're going to talk about Gorilla Glue Clear and whether it's any good for our hobby. Alrighty, so we have Gorilla Glue Clear. It goes on crystal clear, it goes to foam, and all kinds of different uses, which is really, really great for our hobby. Now, at least that was my initial intent. I wanted to check it out. I want to do this review for you guys so you can see. So the 3 easy steps: you dampen it, you put it on, and then you clamp it for about 2 hours. For certain things, you may want to wait 24 hours. So is this one of those quick super glues that you put on some zip kicker and keep going? No, it doesn't look like it is. But if you are trying to, well, my thought is if I was going to bond 2 pieces that are clear, like a canopy to something, that this would be good, especially because it bonds to glass, like it says there. It says that it bonds to foam as well, so maybe when building terrain, I have to try it out with that as well. I haven't done that. So today, what I wanted to see is if I put 2 clear plastics pieces together, or how it would react on clear pieces, whether would it craze like super glue, or you got that hazing going on, or will it be clear that you can actually see through it and it does what, as promised. I did this test on 2 materials. The first material is going to be a piece of clamshell plastic, the clear one. And the second material, I actually tried to glue 2 Chessex dice boxes together to see if there's any kind of, hazing or anything that occurs. So first you have a view of the product. It has a little twist cap, which I find convenient. I like that. But here's a range of the glues that I use, and I wanted to do a test on each and every one of these, starting with the clamshell right here. So this is the test subject, well, one of them, and see if that works. And you can see it's a little scratched up, but not exactly perfect, but it'll serve our purpose for this test. In this test, we'll see a lot of these glues actually emit gases, and if the gas is trapped next to it, it's going to haze. Now this one is supposed to be for like clear glass, and I've used this one. This was primarily the product that I used from Testors for clear glass whenever I want to have like a canopy or something like that, and I glue that on there. Now it's very gel-like, so it's very, very thick to work with. That may be a positive or a negative depending on what you like. So when it comes to control, you have it, but the thickness is outrageous, and I have no idea how to eliminate that. And you see, if you put a whole bunch on there, it comes out white. Interesting, right? Now, when I do put it on regular glass, when I say glass, I mean that clear plastic. It goes on pretty clear, so it's interesting. Now, this one is Testors. This one it melts the plastic. It's one of those glues that melts the plastic. It's like a plastic weld. And I put that on here, see how that reacts. And actually, that is crystal clear. On this material, it's crystal clear. And actually, you'll see later, it actually dries that way, which is amazing. It really blows my mind that it would do that, because I had adverse effects when I was gluing using that kind of glue on the hard plastic and not this one. All right, let's try some thin cement. This is equally as clear. It dried just as clear, as you're going to see, and it's really, really, it's good for this application. So if you're actually using clamshell, I was always afraid to use that kind of glue, but it seems to work just fine. Although around the edges, again, they will start hazing. So just be careful with that. If you're just putting a dollop on the edges, yeah, you're going to see that. And here is good old standard gel super glue. I use Gorilla Glue. I've used Loctite too. I don't have any on hand, but I've used Loctite. In fact, I have a Loctite race car, GTR R34, and I've actually built it using the Loctite glues because I had to. Okay. Anyway, so I'm using Gorilla Glue right now. And I'm actually happy with the Gorilla Glue products. It seems really nice. I do like the squeezy bottle from the Loctite. I don't like Crazy Glue at all. So that's that. It doesn't reseal very well at all. I haven't used it recently. Maybe they changed their product. Okay, so there it is. I'm putting just little strips, and you can see in the background which glue I'm using and in which order. And after I finish using all the glues, that's a super glue, just a regular one, I'm going to use the clear. Now, in order to use the clear, they say dampen the area. So what I'm going to do, I've actually put some water. Well, I put some water on the surface area beforehand, and let me just unclue this. Taking a bit there. And I'm going to take this like here, a tissue, and I'm going to take a couple of drops of waters and dampen the area just now because they recommend you dampen it. So I just wanted to use exactly that, and I don't want to overwhelm it. Now off camera, I over diluted a streak, and you'll see what that looks like because I could put a side by side, and I think I put like 4 drops of water straight without using it. They do not recommend that. So all I did was just dampen the area just a little bit, not much at all. And then I put a strip of the clear and see how that works out. Okay. So as you can see, that one stands apart from everything else. And I want to see how this affects the plastic. I'm going to wait 24 hours before I actually put it in there. Now, so far, from what I can tell, any kind of research that I've done here, I'm not a scientist, so I'm just a regular hobbyist, and I'm trying to do the best that I can. Okay, so let's wait for this to dry. And here it is, all dried up, and you can see what kind of a hot mess this is. And you have some crazing on the right, and you see that because around the areas, it's a hot mess. Although, yeah, it's all faded out. Now, the clear one that I did, when I just dampened it, it crazed just a little bit in the middle. The one that I over diluted, this one crazed like crazy. And everything to the right of that, you're going to see a whole bunch of crazing. Surprisingly enough, on this clamshell though, the areas that the Tamiya extra thin cement is actually quite clear where I applied it, but everywhere around there is hazy. The same thing with the testers. So those two surprised me on that one. I think they melted the plastic that it can be clear. I don't know if that makes any sense. But there's no crazing around the edges, just in the middle of where the clear is, the actual Gorilla Glue clear. So middle a little bit crazing, everything around it seems fine. All right, so now for hard plastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bond these two suckers together. Probably upside down like that. Yep. And I'm going to put them together using a clamp. I'm going to put some glue on there. Now I pre-dampened the area, so those two pieces are pretty damp. And I'm going to apply the glue right on there. All right. So I'm just going to put a dollop right in the middle and see what it does. Now, usually if you put super glue, I don't have a lot of these cases. I wish I did so I can actually show you what happens to the other pieces. Usually it turns like completely white. And if you've ever used super glue on a translucent hard plastic piece, then you know that it turns white. It just completely hazes over, and it's terrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in that air in the middle, and I'm going to create that seal there. Not a complete seal. Air is going to get in there. Any other super glue would be absolutely a hot mess when you're done with it. But this, I guess, is the test to see if it can bond these two pieces together. Alrighty. So I'm just tightening this up pretty tight. Just really trying to get it in the center there. And there we go. Oh, no, I'm putting the wrong thing. There it is. And I squeezed a little too tight. I think I cracked it. Yeah, I did. I'm a little hard-handed. And we're going to let that dry and see what it looks like. So I'm going to show you a picture of what that looks like. All right, so as you can see, the pieces actually dried and bonded very well, although I had to wait about 24 hours for this to completely dry, and I don't think it's even completely dry. But there is no crazing, there's no marks, so, and it's bonded pretty tight. Like, I'm going to try to pull these out together, see what this look like. So I definitely wouldn't use it on a day-to-day, but possibly for terrain, or if you have to put some glass pieces together and create some kind of scenery, it would be optimal. All right, as you can see from multiple trials, and results may vary on your end, but when I tried to put it onto the clamshell clearness, it started crazing. But when I tried to glue two hard plastic clear pieces together, it actually went together very well. So, I mean, it's worth looking into. Well, I hope you liked this video. And if you like it, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time on the Miniatures Paintbrush.